And we're back with an all new show, Damage and Blue. Look, I have these new sunglasses that have come in, and I'm sorry. I know people think that I've changed. I don't see it personally, but these shades are
Oh my
everything.
gosh.
Like I feel very protected when you can't really see my eyes because the eyes, they say, is the pathway to the soul. And if you can see my eyes, then you'd be able to tell you that my soul is getting pretty lonely over here.
Oh,
Jason,
cold
I'm waiting
soul.
for the fur. I'm waiting for the fur coat to come out. Like first, you have on shades. You're about to come out with a fur coat. Like what in the Nino Brown is going on? You have become so Hollywood. Another reminder that you won't be getting a stimulus check because you're rich.
Actually,
Oh
let's
yeah.
be very clear.
Wait,
No, let's be very clear. Hold on. Let's be very clear. Do not hate on the stimuli because Joe Biden
Uh
and
huh.
Donald Trump both have gotten those stimulus checks to me. And here's the crazy part. I moved
What?
and somehow the stimulus check found my house. I'm like, wait a minute. How y'all find out where I live?
wait. There's a new one coming.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Well, I don't know if another one is coming. I'm just saying I did get a stimulus check to my house. I'm not gonna lie, I did not consult with my accountant whether or not I was supposed to get it. I just cashed it. So I feel like at some point at the end of the year, I'm gonna get a knock at the door and someone will be like, "Excuse me, give it back," and I'll give it back. If they want it back, they can have their stimulus check back.
I think be careful because those PPP loan people, what is it? PPP loans. They had a
Mhm.
crackdown. I think if you accidentally got a stimulus check, you might want to just not cash it or put it away somewhere because I think
Hell
even I
Well,
make
no.
too much. Jason, you shouldn't get one. You shouldn't get one.
mm. Well, I did get one. Actually, I got no, I didn't get three PPP loans, but I did get I did get three stimulus checks. But listen, you know what PPP stands for?
What? I'm nervous.
Pocket pussy, please. That's what I said when I went to the sex store the other day in Hollywood. I actually went over and
No,
bought one.
you
I just talked
didn't.
about. I went
What?
over and I yes, I went over and bought one, and I'm so proud to be a pocket pussy holder. Look, I have wanted one for years, but I will tell you the problem with a pocket pussy is you do have to know how thick your dick is before you buy one because getting it in that hole. I can tell you it was a task, and I got the real powerful pocket pussy. Like this thing you have to charge it, and then when you charge it, you have to open it and lace it with lubricant, and then you lace it with the lubricant. You then close it and slide the thing back on, and then you push a button, and it starts vibrating. It has this pulsating thing where it like besides the ribbed inside and the little thing that goes up and down when you put it on your dick, it's a different type of experience than what I've ever had. Typically I'm used to like the grindy, the salt and pepper, the whole all of that. I love all that. But this thing doesn't do that. But I will tell you, I was saying to this on my other show, the most embarrassing thing, my housekeeper, I be planning and plotting, putting toys away, hiding my lubricant, doing all types of things. My I'm convinced that my housekeeper loves making me feel uncomfortable because she found the pocket pussy. I had used it and forgot to clean it. I think she cleaned it, put it back in its case, and put it right next to my bed. And we haven't had a conversation about it, but I don't really know how to address that. Like, do I tell her, like, girl, like, just throw things in a bag and put it in a cabinet and just go home, or what?
I'm still stuck. What motivated you to get a pocket pussy? Because every time I bring up the
Moniece.
word pussy,
Moniece.
this
Mm-hmm.
man is upset. And then he goes and buys a pocket version of the pussy I've been
Mm-hmm.
talking about all these years. And I told you it's amazing, it's great. What motivated you to go buy a pocket pussy?
Well, it doesn't really look like a pussy. Let's start with that, because my dick wouldn't even be
Okay.
able to respond to that. It just looks like a contraption. In fact, when I got it, I was like,
Oh.
"What is that big old soda can looking plastic thing gonna do?" Let me tell you something. Once I was able to fit it in, because now I'm thinking like, okay, damage. When you go to stick your penis in a woman, I'm not gonna
Oh
get too
my
personal
god.
and ask you, what it's like and all that, but it's if it don't open up right away, I found myself having a conversation with the pocket pussy, like, "Can you please open up?" I was squeezing the side. I was trying to figure out how to pull it open. I didn't want to pull it open too hard and then break it, because then it's like once you break the pocket pussy, it ain't really fun anymore. But once I was able to fit it in there and do it, I was like, "Yo, this took way more work than just sticking it in a human being." So it was either that or get a fake ass. I just kind of feel like if I was in my bed humping a fake ass, I will really feel like at an all-time low. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's like, what do you name it? Like,
yeah.
and it's half of a body at that, so you're really fucking a half a person. And then on top of that, you're thinking like, would I fuck somebody with no legs? Because I'm not fucking you if you ain't got no legs. It's what you mean, huh? You're surprised? You think I'll be fucking somebody? First of all, if I can't even hold on to if you ain't got no arms and no legs, you're just a torso. Now I'm fucking a torso. I'm not even dating a whole person. Shout out to the people out there without limbs. I have the right to my preferences. I do not prefer to fuck something without toes and fingers. You need to be able to, you need to be able to take this dick, turn around, reach it, grab it, get it hard again, and stick it back in for the second round. If you can't do that, I cannot fuck you. Sorry.
Jason, what is going on? Jason, what is going
I'm,
on?
I'm sexually frustrated. Like, I took time out of my busy schedule to drive all the way to the store. I risked all of my pride to ask the lady for a pocket pussy. She helped me shop the pocket pussy section. I finally get the pocket pussy of my dreams, come home, and then now I don't know how to turn it on. Then the hole is literally like this big. So I was like,
Oh.
what do you do with this? So, you rub the head around the rim. I'm having foreplay with the pocket pussy. I'm like, hey, you gonna
Okay,
open up
let's
and let
teach
me
you a
in
little
this bitch.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, but no. Let me tell you the difference between a pocket pussy and a whole nigga's asshole. Once you play with it a
Wait.
little bit, loosen it up, I'm telling you. And then once you get in there, it's like a suction that happens. It sucks the whole thing in. Not with the pocket pussy. The pocket pussy was like, no, you're gonna have to shove it all the way in. So finally, by the time I got all the way in, I was over it.
Well, at least this is safe sex. That's the silver lining. Is Jason, you've now told the audience in graphic detail that you are
Yes.
having safe solo sex. For those of you who have not had a successful cuffing season, the
Solo.
lesson I think Jason is trying to teach you is how you can pleasure yourself without being risky, right, Jason?
Like the pussy, that pocket pussy it's on the shelf now. Like, it just took too much work. And then I'm gonna tell you the real
Now-
sensation that I found with the pocket pussy, because it ain't just like a big rubbery thing that you do that with. That's the cheap shit. That's the shit y'all beginners be. This the real high tech iRobot pocket pussy. This pocket pussy, I'm gonna tell you where
It got a cell phone update.
damage. Let me
Fucking
tell
a
you something.
robot.
Let me tell you where this pocket pussy works. After you get the sensation, once you're in it, because like there was a moment where I was like in it, I was like, okay, I can see this is whatever. But it's the vibration on the inside once you hit your climax that it just keeps on doing its thing. But if I'm gonna fuck with a pocket pussy, it needs to be more realistic, like a man's ass. It needs to keep on sucking and just keep on, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm just gonna say I'm a pocket pussy holder. I'm proud to be a proud pocket pussy holder, PPP. That is the loan that I have. You will not be lent that though, because it is by my bedside.
Damage. Would you ever get a pocket pussy?
No, ma'am. I got Angela. You got Pomula. I don't think I need any more than this. You know what I mean? And I'm at an age where I don't like the solo play. You know, it make me feel real dirty afterwards. Like after the fact, I be just sitting there, just kind of staring off, like, why did I do this? And then you gotta clean it up. So I'm kind of getting away from the solo play just for a little while. I'm sure I'll be back soon, but it's been a minute.
Wow.
Not me. Let me be very clear. I love solo play. I love play, but I love solo play because I'm a fantasy-based sexual being. Like, I love skimming through the porn sites. I start with X videos. That's my new thing because I think right now all the porn
Me
sites
too. Oh shit. We there.
all the porn sites are competing with who's going to give you the most sluttiest content, right? So X videos right now is like, I know your slutty ass want this. They give me that nasty group sex in the morning. So I go to X videos first. But then when they slide in that midget sex and that fucking daddy son shit, I'm not with that weird shit. Then I go right over to X videos. Then the X videos. Then I go over to
X and XX.
X and XX. I go to X and XX. But then they give you like fucked you in the bathroom, didn't know you porn. Like, I ain't into just walking in the bathroom and somebody sticking their dick in your ear, right?
They got a good oiled category.
Yes, they do. The massage category is lovely over there, actually. I'm a big fan of the massage subcategory.
Then I go over to Pornhub because Pornhub has some guy in Florida. I am not going to give him a shout out. I refuse to give him marketing, but he has something. I don't know where he be finding all these straight guys, and all he do is just suck them all off. They all got a story. It starts with telling you how big their penises are. So like, you don't even have to waste your time watching the whole video. You watch the first 10 seconds. It says penis 6.5 inches. You just go to the next video. You know what I mean? So I like his content, but then I be thinking like, how he be getting all this premium cock? He's nobody who would get fucked at Twist in Miami on a late night. So how the hell does he find all these? What is he paying them? Because
did you say cock? You said cock. You really said cock,
I know
Jason?
that was more disturbing than everything I heard. You saying cock. You saying cock, I think really creeped me out of everything I heard. Don't say cock, Jason.
Millions of Americans are experiencing thinning hair. It's common, even normal, but it's not openly talked about. So going through it can feel lonely and frustrating. It's time to change the conversation and join the thousands of people that are standing up for their strands with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is formulated with potent botanicals to help you grow hair as strong as you are, and it's physician formulated to be 100% drug free. Nutrafol is physician formulated to be 100% drug free. They use natural, clinically effective botanicals for better hair growth through whole body health. On top of thicker, stronger hair without lasers or chemicals, Nutrafol's ingredients may also help you get a handle on better sleep, stress response, skin, nails, and libido. Visit Nutrafol.com and take their hair wellness quiz for customized support recommendations. That put the power to grow thicker, stronger hair back into your hands. Does it work? Yes. In clinical studies, 72% of men saw more scalp coverage and 86% of women saw improved hair growth after 6 months. Whether you're experiencing thinning or not, you deserve hair as strong as you are. Nutrafol can help you achieve your best hair growth naturally. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and using promo code UNLOCK to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer available anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com. Spell Nutrafol.com, promo code UNLOCK for hair as strong as you are. Well, listen. I love the word cock. Today is National Chicken Day. I do
What?
feel like yes, that's why I use the word. I'm using the word cock in support in honor of National Chicken Day. I'm gonna have chicken for lunch today, but no, nonetheless, look, I am enjoying my pocket protection, and I think that all of us who are lonely. I mean, look, you guys know I go through my bouts of wanting to be with somebody. I don't know what I want. At this point, I do know that I'm missing the company of a person, and in lieu of that, I got a pocket pussy. What can I say?
You know what? I'm really amazed at how you broke down what you use each porn site for because I thought I was the only person that did that, and I see Blue does that as well. It's
Wait.
amazing, right? No, but I'm just saying it's something we all shared. It's like we jump to each
Yeah.
site for something different. Like when I go to Pornhub, I love how regular couples are just up there making their own porn. It's so inspirational. Like I love that. It's
Pornhub
like
is the Walmart of porn. It's the Walmart of porn. Yeah.
but it's
You know,
so dope. It's like you get true amateur porn. It's not you can't beat that.
It's true.
I really can't get into this whole new wave of bisexual porn where you have like one man and one woman are having sex, and then all of a sudden another man enters the room and you think he's about to bang her out, but then his dick goes in the guy's mouth, and you're like, hold on a minute, hold on. Like,
Never.
I know that a lot of my straight friends,
Yeah.
hey, straight friends, a lot of you out there have been calling me saying that we should play around with a girl together. I'm not with all that. It's just too much pussy, dick, and balls for me. I want just straight, nasty, gay sex in my life. So I'm with the couples thing, but the bisexual porn is really, it really throws me out because my mind just can't get into it.
I have a question about that. Is
Hmm.
if a woman tells her boo thing that she wants to have a threesome, he automatically assumes it's with another girl. But what if she wants another guy? Can you be straight and have a threesome with two men? Is that
That's a
allowed?
train.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
called a
train.
No,
train.
it's three people. It's three people. See, that's
No,
sexist.
no,
It's three people. It's still a
no,
No,
threesome.
it's a train.
So
excuse
it's
me.
a train when it's just that's
When it's
sexist. It's
two
a
men
threesome.
and when
No.
it's two men and a female, they've called that a train. But let's be very clear: you could run train on all men and all women. Like you could, the train is just a group of people. But yeah, that's traditionally in the hood a train.
It's a
But
train.
can a straight? I've heard straight guys say that they want to have a threesome until I mentioned you mean with another guy as well, and then they're like, no, 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 I'm not trying to do that. So it's still
That's not
three
a threesome.
people. It's still the way
No.
numbers work. It's still three people though.
Well, you're looking at it wrong. Two guys, one girl, train. Three guys, one girl, train. Two girls, one
I
guy,
understand what you're saying, but I'm
The
threesome.
saying
bottom line,
I'm saying that
to your point,
inviting a man,
wait,
invite a
to your
man.
point, yes, you can do that. It's called a train. Do any of those men want to be the caboose is the question. I don't know that if two men want to fuck on you, that they actually want to be the caboose. But yes, two men and a woman is considered a train. Now listen, I haven't had a train ran on me ever.
Oh.
I will never have a train ran on me. Can you imagine the voice of America and the ass of Bigo getting banged out by two guys who could somehow collude together to go tell their story on the Breakfast Club? That ain't never happening over here. I wish somebody would say they ran a train on me. Now, I've been in a room where some shit gets sketchy. We three of us is in there figuring it out in the dark, and then all of a sudden, somebody starts to slip in on you better get your ass over here on the other side. But that's why I purposely lay on the left side of the bed. Because when you're on the edge, nobody can get behind you. So you always keep your ass tooted towards the wall. That's how you stay protected in those situations. Just for all the gays out
What
there, the men
is
that know about
going
that.
on? It's
This
so
show
much
has
information that I've never heard
so much
at
information.
once.
This is educational. Some people need to understand how to protect their assholes. Listen, men, some of you out there right now have a woman who's at work at her cubicle with her friends, plotting on how she can get her tongue near your asshole. Now, you're somewhere in your cubicle with your friends thinking that you want your ass licked, but telling them, I ain't never gonna let that gay shit happen. Look, if you don't want your asshole touched, get on the left side of the bed and fuck sideways. Keep your ass towards the wall. Nobody will touch it because you would have to get out the bed and go around to penetrate you. By the time they get out the bed and start circulating, you can flip to the other side. Like, but hold on, baby, what you doing? That's what I do. I don't know. It works for me. It may
It
not work.
wouldn't work, Jason. It wouldn't work. All you have to do is reach back. That wouldn't work.
Reach back to what?
Women are allowed to reach back. You don't know what we're reaching for. It could be your face. It could be your booty hole. I'm just saying that wouldn't work.
Y'all, where is
Poor damage.
Listen,
and when I think it's you going crazy, Jason, then Blue comes in with some more information. I'm just like,
Well,
wait,
I'm just
what?
saying.
well,
I'm just saying.
she's those new people, the pansexuals, where you just throw it in a pan and just stir it around, and whatever you get is what you get.
Scramble.
I ain't trying to disrespect the pan community because last time I talked about the herpes community, she talked about all my friends gonna be upset. Well, if all your friends got herpes, Blue, that's their problem.
All my friends do not have herpes. That is fake news. I'm not pansexual anymore. I'm skillet sexual. I've stricken some people off my list that I won't have sex with.
But I'm
I
just
recently
saying,
found that
you said
out.
you have friends. I'm just saying, you said you have friends that have herpes. I don't know if they get together and share medication information or if it's just a support group. Like, if you walk in and B2K bumps on, does everybody go up in arms? I don't know. I'm so sick of offending people at this point. Cancel culture is real. I'm sure I offended several people today. There's several people who feel some type of. By the way, Sidney Starr, we're no longer ever posting you on Hollywood Unlocked again until you stop outing people every day. Today is Tay Diggs. Yesterday or the other day it was Eddie Winslow. You had Mama Winslow come out of the diabetical center to come on there and support her son. Like, if you are trying to use Hollywood Unlocked to out the people you're allegedly fucking on, I don't know why anybody would fuck you at this point. Chingy is somewhere in the unemployment line surfing for EBT cards in the slums of Savannah, Georgia, because you ruined his career. At this point, you're not a bad girl. You're just a nasty ass trans playing around with these niggas. And I'm gonna tell y'all, when y'all be getting shot up and shit, and then get mad at me for being transphobic for calling it out, that's the type of shit that plays into the narrative. And I just feel like with sexuality, we got to get to a place where, on one hand, the men who are fucking on the trans and us gay boys need to accept that they love a little extra meat with their meal. On the other hand, we got to stop outing people and setting people up for situations that takes our entire movement back. Because at this point, Sidney Starr, I always thought you were messy. Then I hosted the Baddies ATL reunion and knew you were messy, but now I'm confirming that we can't even support you anymore until we understand a little bit more control over the situation. So I'm inviting you here to the show to talk about all of your mess, but we can't post her anymore. Make sure the team knows that.
Yeah, outing people is inexcusable, and it's also malicious, and nasty. And so, if she's really outing people, even if she's trans, you can still be trans and be wrong. That's just disgusting. I could never support somebody outing someone like that. It's violent.
Well,
It's an act of violence.
and the content that she's sending over looks like it's from a movie or a TV show or something. It looks like a project they could be working on. Eddie Winslow hasn't been seen in public for years. We don't know what he's doing. We heard rumors that he likes trans girls, and maybe he does. But if he does, isn't that his right to say when he wants to go public with that kind of stuff. I mean, he had to go to IHOP with Mama Winslow in that tired ass deaconess wig she had on, and some kid jumping around looking for some sprinkles ice cream. I mean, look, I just think it's completely out of control. I cannot handle it anymore. Sidney, you said you were with him. He came out and said he wasn't. Somewhere within that, there's a lie. Maybe he hid it on the way, to get his oil changed or something like that. No pun intended. But at this point, he's not claiming you. Maybe, I don't know. And I was a big defender of Sidney on the Baddies ATL reunion because I mean, ultimately, I just don't feel like it's appropriate to be transphobic, which I thought at the time the girl Miss Judy was. Maybe I didn't understand the extent of the relationship, but now that I'm looking at the games that Sydney's playing, trying to use, I know she sent it to the shade room, she sent it to Baller Alert. We're all talking, and we're all really confused at what Sydney's trying to get. If it's 15 minutes of fame, 13 and a half or up. And it's just really sad to watch, but nonetheless, I don't like that. And to all the straight men out there who keep getting at me, I'm gonna fuck you and not tell nobody. So let me just say right now, I do not out people.
Oh,
I do
It's
not out
going
people.
on.
No, I'm just saying because I don't out people. I want every straight man to know that when you come through these double doors here at the palace and you sign that good old NDA with Andrew, you are going to get fucked down in private, and I'm never telling. Never, ever, ever.
I don't even. I'm a big fan of discernment, but I've never seen it packaged quite like that, Jason Lee.
Well, that's what they say when they get into my bedroom.
You know what?
All right.
But
You
Well,
set
look,
yourself up for that one.
I did, I
dun,
did, I
dun,
did.
dun, dun, dun. Well, somebody that I would have slept with back in the day before they got cracked out. And this is really sad to say because I don't like talking about people on crack, but nonetheless, here we are. Ex NBA player Delonte West, he got arrested in Florida after he got caught up in some drunken incident with the police. Remember at the top of the year, we talked about Delonte West. He took a big step in the right direction when he landed a job at a rehab facility. And this was after we saw videos and pictures of him on the street.
Mhm.
People in the NBA were saying that he needed support and help. And remember, there were people that actually reached out to help him. This is the same basketball
Mhm.
player that had lived off a career saying he slept with LeBron James's mama, and that blacklisted him. And it seemed like his career was just down the drain from there. Well, anyway, while it seemed like he was on his way back from hard times, it now appears that he's going through another tough time in his life. Now, this former athlete was arrested on Tuesday after he allegedly got into a drunken fight with cops. And now, what cops are saying is that they stopped him after he was yelling and banging on the glass doors at the police station in Boynton Beach. Now, we know that he had a lot of mental health issues, and we saw some really sad videos and pictures of him, which looked like not only was he disheveled and suffering from the drug and alcohol addiction, but that his mental health may be playing a part of it. Now, officers are saying that he was doing all this while he had open bottles of vodka and beer, and after he was ordered to stop and comply, he got up and put his hands inside his pants, causing one of them to pull out a taser. So he was arrested and booked, and now he's been released. And people are saying that maybe he's back on drugs. I don't know. Even though he went to a rehab facility, shout out to Mark Cuban back in 2020 who helped him out. But people are now saying that maybe he's back out there again. I saw his arrest photo, those pretty green eyes on top of that cracked out face. It's just really sad. But is mental health to play? And should they have tased him, or maybe should they have talked to him a little, I don't know, calmer than they did?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there, so I'm seeing this taser come out a lot with the police force lately, right? They tasing everybody, tasing little women. I mean, little women. They tasing children. They're tasing women. They're tasing everybody. So I'm sure they could have de-escalated the situation without using the taser. But yo, man, he's clinically bipolar. He's been suffering through a lot. He showed up to the police station. He had, you said, beer and vodka, so he's clearly drunk. And we just got to continue to pray for him. He needs help for sure. This is going to be an ongoing battle, and the people that were supporting him before keep that same support. Nothing changes. He's going through something mentally. We got to have his back. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, we need to underscore that drug addiction is an illness, so it's not a character flaw. I think sometimes when we meet somebody who has an addiction, we get annoyed with them as if we're talking to somebody of sound mind and as if they're just being willfully ignorant. He has an illness. He's clearly a sick man. So I just hope that
Mm-hmm.
the people in his life approach him as somebody who is sick, not someone who's just a bad person, because there's a big difference.
This goes back to the whole question when Iggy Azalea raised the point about record labels having programs for treatment for artists. Do you think that the NBA should have programs to help people? Because it seems like a lot of these athletes, I know in the NFL with CTE, now over the NBA, a lot of, different issues that are going on where, some of these big stars, fall because they fall into hard times. Do you think that the NBA owes these players anything?
Actually,
Mm.
yeah. I think any public figure should have access to some kind of mental health assistance, because the internet has created a space where we're constantly waging psychological warfare on public figures. Like the things that your people are going through right now, back in the day, if people didn't like you, there'd be rumors and people would be talking about you behind your back. Now, millions, if not billions of folks can literally tell you to kill yourself 24/7. It's a whole different day. And I think it's time for different leagues to think about how to make sure that they're protecting the mental health of people who are going to be basically carved out to the public for commerce. If you're using their livelihood to make money and to make billion-dollar corporations, protect your assets and make sure that they don't crack under the pressure. So I think, yeah, I think any public figure should have access to some kind of mental health. Anybody, because
Yeah,
the
I
internet
agree.
is nasty.
Well, a lot of people online are blaming LeBron James, and here's the deal. LeBron James is not,
Mhm.
he has many flaws, but if you slept with my mother and then you went out and talked about it and made jokes about it, and then all of a sudden had a mental breakdown and you lost everything, I would say that that's karma. I wouldn't say that that's my responsibility. I don't think LeBron James needs to win any more brownie points with you, Joe Public. He doesn't care about what you think. He needs to worry about him and Savannah and his children and the things that matter to him and building his legacy. I think at this point, while this is a sad story for Delonte and his friends and family, I don't think that LeBron owes him a motherfucking thing. In fact, I don't think that LeBron is petty, but had it been me, I would actually be throwing a pity party. No, I wouldn't be throwing a pity party. I'd be throwing a different type of celebration. But I think that the internet just, has unrealistic expectations that LeBron is supposed to somehow be Delonte's savior. Delonte is
Yeah.
responsible for Delonte. Now, if we want to extend that responsibility, we could say, like Blue said, the NBA, that was one of your investments. If you are investing in it, in him, make sure that he's healthy. But he's been retired from the NBA for a long time, and he's still responsible for his own life. At one point, he had millions and millions of dollars. He's blown through it all. And I don't know that anybody's individual mental health is their other people's responsibility. I have my own mental health issues. I struggle with social media. Sometimes I'm over there on the app, the app I'm on, and that place will drive you crazy. But it's not something where you can feed into it and let it rent space in your head. And it's unfortunately that life is kind of rented all the space in Delonte's head. We wish him the best. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, I don't think that LeBron James owes him anything.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny that somebody could say this one person owes him. If that's the case, then we all owe him. He's part of our community. He is our brother, if you want to look at it like that. Why is it that only LeBron James, because of whatever happened, only he should be responsible for Delonte West? If anything, we all should be responsible. Like Blue said, give him that grace. Don't look at him like he's a bad person. Look at him like he's somebody dealing with something. And we need to look out for him. And people have been looking out for him. And you know what? As bad as social media and the news has been around the stories when it comes to him, it's also shedding light on his situation, and people have been able to remember and to come in like Mark Cuban, like other players, and I'm sure people behind the scene to actually help him. So the press, it always comes with a good and bad. For the people to be
Mm-hmm.
pointing fingers at LeBron, I think it's hilarious, but at the same time, for this to get coverage allows other people that will help to go, yo, we need to look out for that dude. He needs some help for real.
Yeah. Well, listen, somebody else that needs help, or at least won't get married until he does, is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is saying that he's not the marrying type and that he won't be married until he's in a wheelchair and needs somebody to push him around. Now, look, Jamie, you're a great guy. You have a fairly large penis and you have a lot of money. You've been with a lot of women. You have beautiful children. You have it all. You literally live on the hill of a hill, far out in Porter Ranch. We've all been at the parties at your house. At this point, he's saying that he needs to not get married until he needs somebody to push him around. This is the same guy who ended up in a relationship with Katie Holmes, who was in a relationship and had a baby by Tom Cruise, his friend, who was in the movie with him and who was like really, really close buddies. So I don't really know that his issue is the women. Maybe it's his own issue, but he did reveal in his memoir, Act Like You Got Some Sense, that he is not the marrying type. And he went on to say, because I've had two children without being married to their mothers, the subject of marriage has hovered over my head in one way or another for years. Everyone's been asking me about getting married. My daughter's mothers, people in my family, strangers on the street, even Oprah has asked this question. Now, he has a 27-year-old daughter, Corinne Fox, with his ex-girlfriend Connie, and the 12-year-old, who he shares with Kristen Granis. He also said, quote, "I just don't think I'm the marrying type, at least not for now. Maybe in a few decades when I'm in a wheelchair and need somebody to push me around and change my diaper." Look, we all know that I struggle with wanting to be in love, whether it's one, two, or three, y'all. Hi. But companionship is a good thing, especially when you have a lot to lose. And Jamie clearly does. He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. He's a talented and very successful man. And some would say when you build your kingdom or your queendom, you should share that with somebody. But maybe he's just not done, spreading his semen throughout the streets of Porter Ranch. What do you think?
I think whatever he says is best for him is best for him. But the sad part is a lot of people will look at this as an example for their lifestyle. Jamie Foxx can afford to be on his own. Some people can't afford to be alone. Some people need companions to get to the end of life. You got to remember, a lot of people are not making millions of dollars a year like Jamie Foxx. Some of us are just regular work going people. And if you think you can just, oh, I'm not the marrying type and I'm going to stick it out alone, I hope you have a lot of kids that care about you, that because at the end of life, you're going to need somebody to be with. You're going to need somebody to help you out. When you retire, you better hope you have that money set up, because companionship is not just for fun. Like sometimes you need to be with somebody. You need to cohabitate to survive. So that's
But
my
to
thing.
that point,
Is it
Damage, let me say this though, because I do believe relationships, regardless of how much money you have, should be about those things, right? How can we coexist, co-build, support each other? Because even if I have a lot of money, yeah, could I date somebody that doesn't have any money, or do I care if the person is as successful as me? No. But there are other things in my life that would create a balance for me to be able to focus on getting more money and becoming more successful, like emotional balance and companionship. So I don't think a lot of people think about the purpose of relationships anymore. I was on a date recently with a guy who was in a relationship with a guy he's not happy with. He's literally on his way out of the relationship, but it was just a kind of chill, like hangout date. I think I was coming off of Paris where I had that traumatic ass experience that I had to decompress. He was not happy. We kind of just vibed to hang out and we were talking about it. And what I realized in his situation was he still needed his relationship because they had to pay the bills. They had to cover costs of
Mm-hmm.
certain things and it was easier to stay there. But is that a reason why we should stay in relationships that we're not happy with? Because I would rather go sleep on my cousin's couch and be unhappy than to be with somebody who emotionally and physically drains my life every day.
Well, that is two different things. One is staying in something you don't want to be in, and somebody refusing to be in something. That's all I want to. That is two different situations.
so the Jamie Foxx thing? I'm calling bullshit only because I spent the entire. I'm just gonna be very simple about it and call bullshit. I spent the entirety of yesterday, ironically, with a friend who is asexual, and there are people who are actually asexual and gray
Please
sexual, which
break down asexual because at this time there's a pan, sand band, damn. Like
it's
what
not
is
gay though. It's my complete opposite. So she and I like to hang out because we weird people out because we're the opposite ends of the spectrum. Pansexuals means all the sex, and asexual means none of it. She don't want none of y'all. Okay, like don't look at her, leave her alone. And we had a really long conversation about asexuality and gray sexuality, which is also very popular. People don't realize it. When you're asexual, you have no desire for romantic partnership, and you move as someone who doesn't have a desire for romantic partnership. When you're gray sexual, you can only fall in love with people once in a blue moon because you're tired of everybody, right? So there are
blue?
people who move like that.
Blue, you are not
What?
gonna come into this show and create a new fucking sexual saying.
I didn't
Now,
create it. It's been around.
gray
I
sexual
didn't create
now,
it.
blue? Gray.
Yeah. If
Wait,
you have that aunt
no,
who only gets
no,
married, who only fucks once every 10 years, she's gray sexual.
no. Gray sexual is Demi Lovato. It's all gray.
You know what?
It's
I
gray.
think we all know people that are gray sexual,
We
especially
all
in our
know
family.
people. We
You be
all
like,
have that auntie who we
Auntie,
know is gray sexual. But my
yeah,
point
Auntie, I'll
is,
never get none.
folks who are asexual and gray sexual move in a very clear way. Jamie Foxx is not asexual or gray sexual or even demisexual. He's just a Negro with intimacy issues and unresolved trauma whose therapist failed him. And so now he's given up and found a very pretty way to repackage it to the public. He is someone who likes companionship. I've heard about his parties as well, and I'm not going to say if I've ever been to one. It's very clear that Jamie Foxx likes companionship and likes to be touched and likes to spend time with people. So that's not what he is. He is not asexual. He's just a grown man with unresolved trauma who's finding a cute way to repackage it to y'all as to why he's not opening up his heart to be heard again. So I'm calling
Well,
bullshit, Jamie.
I wanna
Woo,
be
violence.
I wanna be a referee in the naked basketball games that they say he allegedly has at his house, because
Ooh.
I wanna see what the D looks like. Listen, I don't know if you're gray sexual, asexual, pan, Sam, or damn, but what I will say is that relationships are very complicated. Now, do I will say there was this one time, I think I shared here on the show years ago, but there was this one time that I went to breakfast with a guy, and we were sitting in Denny's. Now, this is how long ago it was, because you know damn well I ain't been to
Dang.
Denny's in I don't know how long. But we were sitting in Denny's and we were talking, and we had such a good night together. And then in the morning, we were at Denny's having breakfast, and I looked behind me, and there was this old woman. She probably had to be in her 80s. She was sitting there by herself eating her soup, and I broke down
Oh.
crying in Denny's because I thought about being lonely at 84 years old. Now, of course, if I'm mega rich by then, I'll be getting sucked off by people who probably don't even speak English, but it's still, the point is you want somebody who cares about you for you. Like I have staff, they're in these sappy ass relationships, they all love each other, all these damn posts on Instagram and shit like that. That's cute. I want that maybe for a Christmas or two, because I have intimacy issues of my own. I don't think I can last like 4 seasons though. Like let's get through a couple,
Jason,
see how it
no,
goes.
I'm calling BS on you too, just like Jamie. You know that you're a Leo. Every single zodiac sign is ruled by a part of the body. Guess what part of the body is ruled by Leo? The heart. You
Oh.
guys
No,
love companionship. You guys, I don't care what you say, brother. I know that you want a partner.
no,
Okay,
no, no,
I'm
no.
calling the
I
thing a
do.
thing.
No, I do. No, that my part of my body that does rule. Yeah. I don't know if it's my heart. I think it's my Amex at this point. I got frequent flyer
Oh,
miles. Like at this point, in my assistant's job, my assistant's job is two things: one, know when to buy the flight, and two, know what time to walk in my house in the morning. That's the thing he needs to realize. But look, no, and all jokes aside, I do want companionship, but it is very hard. Like I had lunch this past weekend with Lala. First of all, shout out to Lala. You are
oh,
everything in
she is
person.
fine.
She is
Mhm.
beautiful. She's a sweet person. But when I texted her after brunch and I said to her, I really appreciate your vulnerability, and just being vulnerable and being so honest and so nice and sweet. And she very, very authentic. By the way, she FaceTimed Sierra and I was able to say hi to Sierra too. She was very cute. No, but
Ooh.
the thing, what I was talking to Lala about when we were talking about the type of guys that I was looking for in dating, I was explaining to her like it's very, very difficult. I could only imagine somebody like her and celebrity women or celebrity men like a Jamie Foxx dating. For me, who's not a celebrity but known, is still very complicated. And yes, do I want companionship? Yes, but I'm looking for it in all the wrong places. Everybody I've looked for is not it. And so you find yourself kind of running through them. And then after a while, you become desensitized to love, because it's like, why am I, if I'm going to invest a lot of time in getting to know you, when I can just go get what I need to get right now from Tom, Dick, Harry, and Tom's Harry Dick? Why do I need to
Oh.
invest in you? You know what I mean? So it's one of those,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's weird.
It is.
Well,
It'll speak to you one day.
I'll tell you what else is speaking to me, my
Mhm.
testicles, and they're gonna take a bath.
What?
This is there's a new process of testicle baths, but it's a male birth control device that that
Oh.
Dyson has created. So if you've never heard of this, a testicle bath has won the $45,000 prize at the James Dyson Awards as a new innovative form of male birth control. This is a contraceptive that was created by recent industrial design graduate Rebecca Weiss. Of course, it was created by a woman who said she wanted to explore a new development for men. Now, it's titled COSO, and the device is an ultrasound based and a reversible and hormone free male contraceptive device for home use. And so, this is how it works. Damage. The device is filled with water up to a certain limit on testicle based on your testicle size. And so COSO's website says that the water must be heated up to a specific temperature, and then the user must spread his leg
Teabag.
and
Teabag
sit
that hoe.
down to place the testicles in the device. She said she came up with the idea after she was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and says that there was a lack of male birth control and she wanted to be able to dunk your donuts into a testicle bath. I can't.
I like it. I like it.
Do you
I
really?
already see a flaw. I already see a flaw in this, guys. It's based on testicle size, and you guys are not very honest about sizes in general. So from right there, it wouldn't work. I don't see men being honest about how big
I
their
don't see
testicles are.
anybody walking around
Y'all be lying about
exaggerating
everything.
the size of their balls. I've never heard of this
Y'all
look.
lie about everything from the
Oh,
waist
my
down.
balls
So
real big. I've never heard of that in my
But
life.
I
that's
got
a
the
flaw.
balls. I'm gonna need 2 bathtubs for these
Yeah,
motherfuckers. Like,
you know
yeah,
you're going to have to fill this one up.
and I will say there is something like if you come to my house and you have extra large balls or they're hanging too low,
Oh,
we're gonna have to have a conversation because there's nothing worse then like it's sort of like a swinging pendulum while you're having sex. These big old things just shaking around. And usually that's what white men. I've seen a couple white men with some pretty low hanging nuts, and I don't know what that is. Like, is that a some type of disease or something? I mean, you can kind of tape those up or get some kind of thread needle. I don't know. It's somehow the balls.
elephantitis. I think it's called elephantitis.
Is that what it's called?
I
I think
think it's a
so. Yeah,
difference between the size and then the sag level.
that's true.
I think
Yeah,
that's
get
two
your
different
SAG
things.
up. Get your SAG up. If you a SAG card holder, nigga, SAG it up. Is there SAG shaming that takes place? Because I don't have saggy balls, but I know what I look like when I see balls flop out. And there's something to be said that when your balls are longer than your dick, like your dick
Oh,
is here, but your balls are like way down here. Like there's a problem. What is your father doing? I would go get SAG
Hanging out.
replacement or SAG, and I would get SAG suturing because at some point you got to pull them things up.
I mean, I think everybody got their own preference. Some ladies might like that. Some of the ladies might like that. You hitting it from behind. You feel that weight, that weighted
oh my
from the
God.
back.
Okay, I don't know any of those. Like, I will say this: I don't believe in genital shaming for obvious. Because I feel like everyone
Jason
should.
shames
Jason will shame. I
everything.
will say
No, no.
I have been tested though. I've seen some balls that have made me pause, and I had to fix my face because he was looking for a reaction. I had to like play it off. But no, I think men tend to carry actually more insecurity about it than women do, and we tend to feel bad for y'all. Like it's okay, babe. They
About
drag a little bit.
Well,
It's
balls?
fine.
listen, there's one porn star. His name is like Giovanni or somebody. I don't know what he's like Middle Eastern or maybe he's Italian. I don't know. Damage, plug your ears. He has a really huge penis, but he has some really oversized balls. And I ain't gonna lie, when he's hitting it, that sound that I go from watching the sex to literally timing when the balls are gonna hit the ass. And it's so distracting. When you're trying to jack off to it too, it's like, duh. It's sort of like when you hear your neighbor and they're doing this, and you're like, hold on, like you start moving. Now you rocking in your chair. Now you on the beat. Cause as black people, we're used to following the rhythm. I just don't want to beat to that drum. I'm sorry. And now that this teabag contraption is out here, now I'm gonna see my friends come over like my pocket pussy and put their little teabag machine next to that. No,
Oh my
I don't
God.
know that a woman should be creating this for men. I don't know that now. So when you put your balls in the contraption, it says the water got to be certain level. Now you're
Hmm.
boiling your eggs. I don't
That's
know. I
right.
don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not safe.
Well,
Well,
for all the men, go ahead.
I would say being that men created probably female contraception, I'm not really mad that
Mm-hmm.
women are making it. And remember, boys should be washing their balls anyway before sex, regardless. So if you gotta take a little dip to get the sperm count down and make sure you're not getting nobody pregnant, take the dip. You know how many people ain't trying to get people pregnant out here? Go in
I
there,
think
take the
once,
dip,
Wash
once
your
I think I
balls,
think I
please.
think
take
once
the
your
dip.
balls are I think once your balls are that warm though, your penis ain't gonna want to get hard. Like it's gonna be like, it's time to go to bed. You know how you sip hot milk? You know how you drink hot milk before you go to sleep? You're like
Where's this going?
toasty. You're like in a toasty little situation. The fire is burning. Your balls are overly warm. At this point, you don't want to fuck nobody.
I,
Now,
I,
now,
I disagree.
Well, I will
really?
Because
say
after
this: that
sex, go ahead.
some of you guys are hypocrites though, because I did have a female friend. I'm not going to say her name. I don't want to get in trouble. She was dating a guy, and I think it's called elephantitis. He had really abnormally large balls. She worked through being supportive of him despite his insecurity about that. But then he judged her for having beef curtains, which is the female equivalent. So she
Well,
was like, I can't believe that I had an open mind with him and he's judging me. So if you're going to ask for grace, guys, if you meet a lady with, curtains, just make sure that you show her the same love
no,
too. Because
no,
my
I'm
poor
sorry.
friend
I'm
was
sorry. I'm
devastated.
in my studio right now looking at what curtains actually look like. I'm sorry. If I reach down into your pocket of beef jerky and you pull out that extra oversized meat, whether it's a clit or a dick, I'm sending it back. Now, there are some people who have oversized, the the extra skin or whatever, and that's okay if it's a little extra. But if it's extra to the point to where you have cottage cheese and pineapple surrounding the rim, and you got to
Oh my
take an
God.
extra bath and dip it, because some of y'all with the extra skin, whether it's the extra beef curtains or the skin, don't know how to properly clean it. And I personally do not like having to have a conversation about hygiene. I'm gonna always be clean. When you get in my bed, I'm gonna have fresh drawers, fresh tank top tee. I'm gonna be bathed. I'm gonna have oils. Might even have cologne. I'm gonna have lotions. I'm gonna have the breath gonna be right. If you get in here and you smell like you literally just ran around the taco truck and dipped your dick in some of
Oh.
that white sauce, that sour cream, and now you here talking about let me wipe it off real quick. No, we have a problem.
I feel
Sorry.
like such a child. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Hygiene is
What is
important
he
for
talking
everybody, I think.
about?
He's talking about
I'll
vinegar
just say this.
balls. He's
Vinegar.
talking about vinegar
I'll say
balls.
this. I don't see nothing wrong with upping the temperature on the ball water, because after sex, when she come and bring that hot towel and you just wipe yourself down, it's no better feeling in the world. So
Wait,
Wait,
the
she
girl
has
understandable.
to bring the hot towel?
you the
She
hot
brings the
towel?
hot towel?
When she brings the hot towel after
Shouldn't
sex,
you be bringing the hot towel?
when
Damage,
she
you
Oh.
brings
supposed
the
to have
hot towel after
damage.
sex,
Damage, you
why are
supposed to
y'all
have
so
the hot
upset that I got a towel brought to me once in a while? Who said she
You
brought
didn't
it every
say
time?
Lord, that is
You
selfish.
see this? What is going on in today's show? Everybody's judging each other, we're shaming each other. Can I get a hot towel once in a while when I
Wait,
have
wait, wait,
sex?
wait,
Is
wait.
that
So
okay?
damage. When you're having
Mm.
sex, you're just laying there like this, like, bring me the towel. I mean, what is
Wow.
Nah, sometimes if she do it right, you kind of in the days for a little while, then you look up and the towel's already being presented. Like, oh,
Mm.
thank you. And then she wipe it
presented?
down for you. You ain't got
Wait,
you sit back, she wipe it down for
presented?
you. Yep. The royal penis is clean. Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Hmm. Well,
Ladies, find a man who will bring you a hot towel.
all right, well, listen, I'll tell you what's also crazy. The internet is now backing a woman who refuses to be the best friend's maid of honor after her fiance was not invited. A woman posted to the subreddit, and she said, "quote Am I the asshole asking her followers if she was wrong for bowing out of her best friend's wedding party as the maid of honor after she found out that her fiance would not be invited?" The woman goes by the name of Mad Maid of Honor 2710 on Reddit.com and wrote it in a post that she and her fiance have been dating for 10 years and were planning to get married in January, and her best friend and her future husband were invited to their wedding. Now, the woman's story blew up and she got 17,000 votes. That she wasn't wrong for dropping out of the wedding as the maid of honor. Now, Mad MOH 2710 added that her friend has only been dating her future husband for about a year and became engaged following 6 months. Now, she stated that she asked to be the maid of honor, or she was asked to be the maid of honor, and the wedding was going to include more than 200 people. And she wrote, quote, "Naturally, I assume my fiance would be invited. My best friend has known him for 10 years, and they're all so friendly. Most of our friends are married, so their spouses get an automatic invite. I assume my fiance would be invited too, but my BFF decided to notify me that he's not invited literally yesterday during a chat we had, and I told her about the suit my fiance bought." So that's how she found out. Now, let me just tell you, I recently lost a friend over something like this. Don Benjamin, as you know, has been my friend for a long time, many years. Before I was Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, and before he was Don Benjamin, the guy who's doing whatever he's doing. Now, listen, I have been a loyal friend to Don. We both snuck in the Rock Nation brunch together. I think I told that story here before, where we wanted to meet Rihanna back in 2012, the day after Whitney Houston died. He's somebody that he's been to my birthday party. I've taken him to his first fashion week, spent all the money doing that. That was back when he had 10,000 followers. Well, he got engaged to and married Leanne V after they had a very public breakout. A lot of details of that, which never came out because I kept them private. I'm not going to be messy and put them out now. But what I will say is that recently, when I was in Mexico, or Aruba, I think it was in Mexico, I found out that coming back into the country, he was getting married. Now, I had saw that they were getting engaged, but I didn't know that they were getting married. I found out from my photographer, who was their photographer, that he was getting married, and so I was surprised that I wasn't invited. Then on top of that, I saw that there were all these other people who he had just become friends with, these TikTok motherfuckers, whatever he had brought. So I will say, when it comes to invitations for weddings, people do take certain things personal. When you think you have a certain relationship with somebody, you expect them to acknowledge that relationship. Now, although mine was a direct relationship with Don, in this case, you ask somebody to be your maid of honor, you would assume if she's partnered with somebody for over 10 years that that's an automatic invite, no?
Yeah, you would assume, but I feel like something else is going on with this. Why wasn't old boy invited? I don't know if he was probably hitting on her throughout these years
Hmm.
of them being cool. You never know. Like there's a reason old boy wasn't invited. Now she has the right to not invite him, and as you know, that's her due. If she feel like he wasn't invited, she can easily step off. But I do feel like there's something going on with that. That's not a typical move. There's something probably old girl don't know about her man, and maybe they'll come out in this little conversation they have in here.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think. See, I'm the kind of person where I don't want a big wedding. I've always been a bigger fan of like having my time and focus on the marriage, not just the wedding, which is just a party. So I want to have less than 100 people at my wedding. So if you don't get an invitation, you're gonna be in the majority because I get 50, he gets 50, and everybody else can watch it on YouTube. However, when you are the maid of honor and you've had a friendly relationship with your partner and your best friend is a very strong term for a decade. At that point, to Damage's point, it is a little bit suspect that he's not invited. And even if the guy had hit on her, if you were a good friend, you would have pulled her aside and proactively said, "Sis, I love you. I want you to be part of my wedding. You're like a sister to me. We're besties. However, I'm uncomfortable with him coming to my wedding for this reason. Do you want to still be a part of it?" But to like be passive aggressive and let her think that she's gonna be a part of it and reasonably think that he's gonna be involved as well, like everybody else's partner, and then slipping in, that's passive aggressive. So she has a right not to invite him, but the way she did it was really grimy. So that's where I have a
Yeah,
I
problem with.
yeah, but again, like, I'll use my own experience, right? Like, I wasn't not invited. I wasn't not just not invited, but the excuse I was given was because of COVID, there was only a certain amount of room. Now, I don't, you say you're gonna have 200 people. Maybe I'll have 300 or 400 people at my wedding because I'm gonna need 350 and he can have 50 or whatever. But what I will say is, regardless of what the breakdown in the numbers is, I just feel like weddings are a very sensitive thing. I don't even go to weddings, but I'm siding with the maid of honor in this one because ultimately, if you
Yeah.
ask this person to be in your wedding, then you let your other friends bring their spouses. This is her spouse. That there should have been some consideration or at least a conversation around capacity or space or whatever. In my case, I wasn't given that. It was given after the fact when our actual friends called Don out on it and said, "Why isn't Jason here?" And then with all these bullshit excuses. I was going to have a whole meeting with him to explain to him how I felt about it. But at this point, there's no need to have a conversation because I see it just like this woman sees it. And now she knows where she stands with her friend. I don't think she did anything wrong by pulling out. Maid of honor is a privilege for the bride. It is not, and a privilege for the person. But ultimately, you're not getting paid to be the maid of honor. So why don't you just be the maid and clean your shit up and get up out of there? And I'm glad that she stood up for herself. And I'm a 17,001 vote in support of her. And to Don, we haven't talked because I canceled my one-on-one with you because I really don't know what to say to you. And for you to come and explain to me some bullshit would be a waste of our time. I now know where me and Hollywood Unlocked sit with you, and I'm comfortable with that. And I unfollowed you. So good luck in your marriage. Okay. Although me and Don Benjamin are no longer friends, we both, all three of us are. So it was good seeing both of you today. This is a great show.
It's a wild
Right?
show.
I learned a lot that I'm not sure I wanted to know, but I learned a lot today, Jason Lee.
That's okay. I'm going to go get my pocket pussy. Bye.
Oh my God.
All right, look, that was a great show. And make sure you keep coming back because we got all types of amazing interviews and topics that are going to make you go crazy.
That's right. That means like, subscribe, do everything you need to do to make sure you stay up to date with what we got going on.
And ladies, stay tuned in because you know I have your back.
And listen, make sure that you're commenting below because even though I say I don't read it on the show, that's all I do when it's over. Peace.